What's up YouTube? My name is Kevon and today I'm going to be showing you my Oklahoma front yard garden. I'm actually about to be moving, so I didn't put too much effort into it, but I want to show you what I did get before we are about to move. So yeah, here you go. So most of these pots have strawberries and lettuce growing right beside each other. In the back right there, I had collard greens growing, but some bugs got a hold of them. But they are growing back pretty well. Here's a strawberry that had a hole in it, so I just threw it in that pot. But there's some lettuce growing, lettuce seedlings growing. Probably be some more popping soon, but I just kind of sprinkled a whole bunch of seeds on there. So I started my garden, in hopes to like sell some of the extra stuff that I grow, but since we're moving and everything, I never really started like trying to grow the infrastructure to really get everything going. But since I'm moving to Grand Rapids, I want to do the exact same thing I'm doing, and everything that I have here I can actually take with me, as long as we get a U-Haul or some kind of way to move our whole house from here to there. But when I move, I will take all this and hopefully literally drag and drop my entire garden into the yard that I have there and try to expand it a little bit and actually begin making money selling at farmers markets and trying to just have fun with my garden. I have a lot more pots and stuff that I didn't ever fill up with soil or anything like that, just because of the fact we're moving. I even like fix up the backyard a little bit, trying to grow into the grass back there. Into the ground back there, and kind of let it go. Like I said, once I found out I was moving, I really just kind of gave up on it. But I probably shouldn't. I really should have just, really hunkered down and really got going, because, like I said, I have a lot of stuff, and I'm sure I could have sold some stuff, and I'm probably still can sell some stuff. So we'll see how it goes. But I have about a month before I have to go, so we'll see. But I'm gonna keep showing you guys some more of the garden real quick. So back to the garden. I honestly just kind of let this go to see how it would grow. But this pot is just all different types of lettuce like sprinkled on top, and it's growing really huge. I honestly should cut it back. Like, there's a spider web growing right in there, so I just cut this whole thing. Probably pull all the lettuce out, and or I might even let it keep growing and eventually make some seeds and just take those seeds for when we move, so that way I have them. I think that's probably going to be the move. But right here are my two best strawberry plants, or two biggest, I'd say. But it's because they're in these big pots, and they have unlimited water right there. And there's a hole that I actually drilled right down there to make sure that the water level doesn't go above that height. And that's honestly a little bit too high. I might drill another hole a little bit lower on the other side, but I haven't decided yet. I haven't really had any issues with it like this, so we'll see. And usually within a day or two, it'll actually be way lower. And we haven't had too much rain recently, but it did rain. That's why it's full. But here's one of the strawberries. And my plan was to grow the strawberries on the outside rim of the pots, and then to have the lettuce plants grow into the inside. But I grew way too many. I put way too many lettuce plants in there. So now I know for next time when we move, I probably put like 4 lettuce plants and 3 or 4 strawberry plants in each pot. And here's another one. I already cut this one back. It's a little wilted because it's like 90 degrees out here today. But they do look really, really good. If I cut these in the morning, they'll probably taste really good and really fresh. Okay, now here's my onion patch. With my onions, I also grew some lettuce in between, and I like doing it like this because it made it to where I could grow multiple plants in one pot. So I grew like 4 or 5 onions in each pot, along with 1 or 2 lettuce heads in some of them, just to test it out, and I left some of them alone. I really didn't notice the difference between the growth between any of them, even with the extra lettuce inside. So I'll definitely be doing this. I'll probably grow 3 lettuce heads in each pot, and also like 4 or 5 onions in every pot. And I might even expand the onion idea to even more pots just because they don't take up too much space, and everything seems to have enough light whenever, even with a ton of onions in there. So I also tested out some of these plastic bags, and they worked really well. You actually water them a lot less than the fabric pots. So these 1 gallon plastic bags, you water less than a 5 gallon fabric pot. And I really did like that. The only problem is they were pretty small, but I can fill them up about halfway and put 1 lettuce head in each one, and then I could take them to market just like this. So this might be a really good method for me in the city. So these plants are a little stunted because I bought most of this soil and added it in a little later, and I didn't feed the soil. I'm so used to having really good soil because I've always just bought really good soil, but this time I bought soil from somewhere else, and I didn't amend it until later. But they ended up growing. It's starting to bounce back. Like the color is starting to come back in this lettuce. But if you look at this lettuce compared to all of the other lettuce in the yard, it is not growing nearly as fast, nearly as vigorous, or as strong, and the color is just now getting in. But this pot right here is one of the better ones. You can see in there's the yellowing of the leaves. Like I said, there wasn't enough food, but this red is coming in really well since I fed it. And here's another good one. And these were also planted later than all of the other pots, but like I said, they did get stunted. They would have been a lot bigger, I do believe. And I find this to be the easiest way to water the plants because you always know how much water is in them. And with these DIY versions, you just kind of lean them over, and then water will run out of the little hole in the bottom. And that's how you know if there's water in there or not. Or you can always just add water to the top no matter what. But like I said, it just rained, so I know that everything's full. And like, here's a good example of how you could tell that I was underfeeding this. Like, look at these strawberries. They're just underdeveloped, and the leaves are just not really, they're all red. And none of the other strawberries did that. And like, here's one strawberry that came from there, and it looks bad. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. Like, this has been all of the garden I have right now. Like I said, I do have some plants in the backyard, but I'm not really worried about showing them because, like I said, they're not taken care of. There's a lot of weeds, and the plants actually did really well. The weeds did too, but there are plenty of like lettuce heads. I probably have like 300 lettuce heads back there, but there's a lot of weeds in between. And I'm gonna go out there and like individually cut all of my lettuce heads, but right now it looks a mess. But everything is growing really well. But I won't be doing it like that again. That's not for me. I really enjoyed doing it in the pots, and just because it was easier, didn't have to worry about weeds. It's a lot easier to feed, a lot easier to just maintain, even easier to water, in my opinion. Right now it's like I said, 90 something degrees, so everything out here is a little wilty. But it's super humid too, so it's just crazy. It's been like raining all week, and now it's hot and humid, and we probably won't get any rain for another 2 weeks, or maybe even longer than that here in Oklahoma. I bet you it doesn't rain until after I move, and that'd be fine with me because it keeps it easy. I like being able to water it myself, just because it's a lot easier that way. You don't have to worry about overwatering, and hopefully it cools back down too, because I need them to not look like this. But yeah, thank you for watching. I will get more in detail here in the next few weeks about my garden right before I leave, and unpack it, and I cut everything down. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you.